Right. Hey, collective. Welcome back. We're going to do a little thing about the soul and the ego. We're going to talk about the soul and the ego and what's the difference between them and how to hear your soul and what to know what your ego is. And I love talking about shit like this. Oh my God. I'm so excited because the ego wants defense. The ego needs to be defended. The ego is fragile. In the Bible, in all the cartoons that you watch, when you have the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, that is your heart and your brain. The devil is the brain because it looks on the physical, ruling by Saturn, which is Satan, which controls time, and time controls matter, and matter is physical. Physical is 3D, not spiritual. And the angel is the spirit, the divine, the heart, the purest part of the body. Not the pump, but the funnel of the body. It funnels blood through. The lungs pump air. The blood funnels and moves blood. So when someone says anything referring to God or Satan, they're comparing their heart and their mind. When someone says Satan's going to do this or Satan's going to show you something, they're talking about their mentality. Someone's mentality is going to show you what the fuck's up, who that character is. Pay attention to these things. No one tells you how to pay attention to your soul. We're so ego-minded that the only way to pay attention to the soul is complete isolation. Because if you're not isolated, you're going to compare everything by everything that you see, everything that you hear. It's all going to be mentalized. You're going to be stuck and brainwashed. Simple as that. That's how they want you. And for those that wish to stay that way, go for it. But allow your energy to be drained. Allow your future to not prosper. Allow it to be controlled by the 3D. Because that's where it's heading. And in the year of Aquarius, when we are here to know, and we should start knowing who we are, you should start realizing that you're brainwashed and still asleep before December. That's the time. Once it hits December 15th, it's too late, and you will be stuck into a new cycle. I'm not here to say nothing, but I'm just here to tell you what I hear in the messages that I get. I don't need cards. I don't need to prove myself. You just have to sit, listen, and experience. That's all. But everyone's going into new cycles. And in the year of October, good job. Awesome. I love that. The year of October. It's taken like that too. In the year of October, because we're sticking with it. I don't give a damn. Let your ego have an issue with it because it's beautiful. There's no need to fix it. So in the year of October, the feminine month, it's all about the feminine side. And if you're not connected to your feminine side, oh baby, Lilith is gonna be up in your ass and all up in your coochie and all up in your face and your hair. You're gonna be stinking. Because she hates it. Not the fact that Lilith hates anything, but Lilith's feminine side is damaged. The side of love is damaged. Her image is damaged. They can't see straight. They ended up doing so much. And you don't have to look at the Bible. You can go further back than the Bible. I might even put up a picture somewhere showing you older proof that Lilith is a thing. I don't know if people need to know that or not, but like some people are just so stuck on like the Bible stuff, and those, I hate to tell you this, but the ones that know the truth of what the Bible is and how it's written, you're praising the devil. I'm leaving it at that. Because those who know who God really is know who God really is. If you want to say God's a vengeful, evil God, no, that's man. We are God. Understand that. So just because your God is upset and vengeful and all you get is bad karma and you have to worry about the actions of your consequences, it's because you don't take accountability for yourself. So you need an external force to show you your accountability, to force you to, because you're still in training, because you've yet to break your mold, because you've yet to release the actual traumas and the pain that's inside of you. And I'm just here showing you. You don't have to believe me. You can look at, but I mean, You know, it's whatever. The light, the divine never pushes. The divine doesn't force you to do anything. The divine knows you have free will. You know? Understand these things. These are things we all know. We all understand them. Why would you think God would punish someone? Would you punish someone? Maybe. You have the ability to. If your ego wants it, you will. But that's God. Half divine, half man. Half animal, half God is what humans are. You're part animal. You have the animalistic side, the side that needs to fight, that side that needs to defend, the side of you that feels hurt, the scared side of you, the side of you that's still stuck in victimhood is the ego. When you heal your ego, because what a lot of people do is try to get rid of their ego or dissolve their ego, and once you do that, you lose yourself again. And then you don't know where the fuck you are. You change your ego. You transmute your ego, because without you, you're lost. Because all you have is you. So to say that you're wrong, you're bad, is to you know what I mean? Like, people overcomplicate things like this because the ego is so demanding for a direct path, but in actuality, you just have to be true to yourself, you know? Be accountable for who you are, you know? That's all you have to do. Be okay with the energy that you project. Be okay with people seeing sides of you that they wish to see, that they then create for themselves. Allow people to be ignorant. Allow people to be stupid. You just gotta say it that way. They're thick-skulled. Humans are stubborn. Let them be stubborn. Let them lie about you. Let them say all these shits about you, because their ego will crumble within time and they will lose themselves and not know who they are. Their name will not be written in time. Their name will be somewhere else in the dirt. The rest of us will be too. But it's important to know that when dealing with the ego, that it has this tendency to act like the soul. It knows what the soul wants because the soul communicates with it. It understands how to play these things. It's the manipulation. Why do you think you end up manipulating yourself out of doing something that you really want to do? Like, oh, I just don't want to do that. I'm lazy to do that. Because your ego's like, no, I don't want to. But your soul's like, let's do this. This would be fun. I want to get this out. I want to get this creativity out. I want to do these things. But your ego goes, no. Your ego says, I'm too tired. I don't want to. It compares to the physical. Oh, but I'm laying in bed. I don't want to do that right now. Oh, but it's at this time and it's too late. Ego. Because the soul wants to do it. The soul doesn't give a fuck if it's 3 a.m. I want to do something. Let's go on a walk. It's 3 a.m. Who gives a damn? Let's go on a walk. Notice that your soul doesn't give a second option. It doesn't go, oh, okay, then we can do this. The soul suggests and drops. And if the ego doesn't get it, the ego doesn't get it. Understand. Because this is going to shock a lot of spiritual people. And it's not to say that they're not on the right path, but a lot of people are going to have to go through extreme trials again because they have failed this test. And I've witnessed a lot of people fail their test actually by interacting with them. I've been told certain things. You don't understand. I can't talk about everything that I do. But I'm a lot more important to the divine's plan than a lot of people want to acknowledge and or want to hear. Because again, it's this ego thing. But that's what's holding you back, is you would be grander in the divine plan without that force stopping you. My ego convinces me to do what my soul wants to do. When I talk with my ego, I'm at this point where my soul suggests something and my ego goes, I don't want to. Why don't I want to do that though? I don't have to wait for the soul to question. I've given myself permission to question myself. Am I thinking the way I think? Or am I thinking the way someone else wants me to think? That is the power you hold over the ego, but people don't do it. People don't realize it. People don't exclaim it and say, I want to second guess myself. Why don't I want to do this? I told myself I had to do this thing because it's something that I enjoy and love, or it's something that I just, have to do, and it's not causing me stress, but I don't want to do it. And then when you say you don't want to do it, here comes the energy, because you've already put your intention towards that thing. Even if you don't want to do it, you still call it energy to you, because now you have the energy to not do that and do something else. Then it becomes anxiety. Oh fuck, now I have to really do this thing, because the energy comes in, and then the ego takes it, because it doesn't go to the soul. The ego rips it from the soul, and the soul just sits there and lets it. I guess you really wanted the energy. That's okay. It's all yours. I got an infinite fucking supply. You got however much that was. You know what I mean? And then it's used for incorrect reasons. It's used for insulting. It's used for combating. It's used for praising a false idol, which would be to do something else with the energy. Would be praising a false idol with the energy. Instead of taking it to the direct position, you're giving praise, you're giving your offerings, the energy, to the other thing instead, and hoping that it does what the divine gives you. This is the whole thing. Understand that the Bible is a lot more deeper than people want to think. When you make it, not even when you make it, but when you understand it and understand it as a guideline to the human body and what it is and how the consciousness works, then you'll be awake. Until then, you're just kind of floating around, hoping it makes sense, trying to find the next rope. It's literally you. Satan is your ego. It's fallen. It can't stand up on its own. It sees something that's light. It sees something that gives it joy, and it becomes disgusted with it. It looks at it and judges it. Oh, I love that, but I want it. Why don't I have that? It questions. It compares. The soul just knows they can have that thing. When you see someone wearing pink socks or like pink shoes or whatever the fuck, they're driving a certain car, and you're like, I want that car. I don't fucking have that car. I'm upset that I don't have that car. Like, this sucks. That's your ego. Your soul, on the other hand, is whispering to you, oh no, you can get that car. It's easy. You want that car, you can get it. It's yours. You're now in the vibrational energy of getting that car. But everything's a spectrum. So are you wanting the car and going after the pipeline to get it, despite on how short or how hard you're going for it? Or are you just going to sit back and not get it, with that being like sitting back and not getting it, just watching the car, maybe even talking to the car owner, not even like asking about the car, just like looking at it, or just outright saying that you can't get it because it's impossible? That's your ego. The ego keeps you in a box. That's what keeps you asleep. That's what keeps you in your bed with the pillow and nighty-night energy. That's what keeps you in this energy of needing to fight back. This is this energy of feeling like you're on some sort of high horse, and you're not. No one is. And if you ever pick that up from anyone, understand that it's coming from you comparing yourself to them. It's not them putting themselves on a high horse. How do you know that they're doing that? I can read energy. Are you reading their energy or your energy? Are you actually reading their energy, or are you using your ego to create a storyline to convince you of it? No one teaches you how to listen to your soul. No one does. That's something you got to do on your own. That's something that I try and help people with on this channel, is to see what the soul is, to hear what the divine wants you to truly hear, not what the divine wants you to hear mixed in with ego. The divine is not a duality thing. The divine is everything that is, and nothing is anything without love. So if you dare say anything is hate, anything is because of XYZ, that's your ego. Everything is because it is. The soul knows that. It doesn't need to come up with a million reasons for why. It just knows. But you must tussle and fight with your ego to get it to understand there's more to it than this. Because your ego wants to go, no, if I don't do this, everything's going to go bad, because your ego is man-made. And when man makes something, man will manipulate it. I don't even break that down. Y'all just listen. You just need to look up the word manipulate. Spell it out. Figure it out your own syllables, baby. We have them for a reason. Y'all figure it out. You'll figure it out. Not to even mention that the word God is just superhuman. And Satan is just Saturn. So are you going to be a superhuman or someone that is above average on the human scale, whether that's mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, doesn't matter. God is being above the average. That's why people walk around with godly auras, with godly energy, because they are above the human flesh. They aren't of this weird meat suit. They don't care about it. And it's not that they are reckless with it, but it's they know that they're more than that, and they operate from what's inside and not what's outside. They don't need to blame people or races or genders or sexualities for shit, because they know that all that's inside of them. And they just chose what they chose. They just chose what they wanted. Now that's a whole spectrum on its own. Every choice has its own spectrum. So for you to even suggest that some sort of hate or some sort of evil energy comes from a fleshly manner, that is your ego not wanting to take accountability for what it's seeing in you. Because we're all light. Human. Light. Hue is light. Different shades, different hues. Shades is dark. Hues are light. When you get a hue of a color, is a lighter color. We are light. We are projectors. And what you see is I was gonna say a reflection, but projection and reflection wanted to come out, but it's both of you. Because when you point at someone, you got three fingers pointing back at you. So always remember that. That's why I always like flop my hand around. I always point, because I know if there's fingers pointing back at me, just as there's fingers at you. Because I take accountability, just as others do too, you know? But it's about being honest with yourself and seeing these things and knowing these things and not acting like you're better than someone, or not even projecting that someone's acting like they're better than you. It's just understanding that someone who is unaware of their ego will constantly abuse that ego power in hopes to seem better or to seem stronger, you know, because they're weak. They're victims. They've been beat up. They've been bruised. They can't stand up for themselves. So they see true light. They see light brighter than theirs because they can't even see their own light. They don't even realize that that's their light shining back at them. And through that light, they need to find that how dark they are. The sides of them that they ignore, how ignorant they've been. They don't want to do that though. And it's hard for people to do. But I'm here to tell the truth. And that's why not many people like me. But I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to wake you the fuck up. So if you don't like me calling you ignorant, then just stop being ignorant. And all ignorant means is uneducated. And if you're upset at me calling you uneducated, better start getting fucking educated, because there's something inside of you that resonates with it. Because you wouldn't get any emotion at all. You wouldn't feel a certain way about anything. You would just smile and laugh. It'd be nothing. It's just a joke. You would understand that. That's why I laugh at everyone. Everyone's a joke. Everyone's silly. Everyone's funny. And it's not because I know something that they don't know. It's just because it's funny. They take it too serious. They think it's something that's going to like change their life in an instant, but they don't work on it. So they're upset at their own actions. People tend to really get upset at seeing others excel in what they're trying to do. It's a whole jealousy thing. And I've talked about it before, but we as a society are born and raised to feel envious and jealous by nature. That's why we judge. Those are reactions, side effects of judgment. Jealousy, envy, spite, anger, regret. Those are all side effects of judgment. Sounds familiar. I mean, you can read it up in the Bible all you want about judgment and Judgment Day and how all these things are. You can look them up and find them. I'm just here telling you what you supposedly already know, but you overlook because of your ego. And it's not everyone, you know. I talk direct because whoever it hits and impacts is who it's for. That's why I don't call out names. That's why I don't call out people's actions either. Try not to, at least. Because there's no need to. If it resonates with them, they will get triggered by it. My light will irritate the fuck out your demons. I don't get irritated by light. I see light as beauty. I enjoy when my light is next to other light. I enjoy it. It's beautiful. Why would I get jealous of someone else's light? But day to day, I see people poking at my light thinking it's inauthentic. No. I mean, I say it a lot, but I'll say it again. I don't know, man. I've died 3 times. So I don't know if you expect me to be like these salty other people who go, oh, these people deserve to die. No, man. Maybe at the start of my shit, because I was in the middle of my warfare and I was pissed off that I was in that position and I was not taking accountability for my actions, and I thought that it should have went another way because I misunderstood what God was doing in my life. Maybe at the start, yeah. But as I always say, use this channel as an example. I am a bigger part of the divine mission than you'll ever know. And until the day ones of this channel might actually see that growth. Because I know a lot of you all on this channel have seen this growth and know what I'm doing and see the divine working with me in this. And to you all, thank you. And to the ones that don't see it, thank you as well. Because there's no discrimination. There ain't no difference between either of you. There's none, truly. But those who know and have seen this growth know it's true. And it's very important for you to be aware of that. It's very important for you to see the truth. Spiritualize, not realize. I don't care about your data and your numbers or well, over here in man, and in this belief, man. No, I don't give a damn. You said belief. I don't give a fuck about what you believe. What's true to you? Fuck a belief. I'll break your beliefs in half because a belief is just a thought pattern. Break it in half just like that, baby. What's your truth? You have faith, you have belief. Those are things that involve doubt. You have faith because you're not sure something's going to work. Oh, I have faith it's going to work. It'll be fine. Because you have doubt. What's your truth? What do you know for sure? It's the year of knowing, not the year of believing anymore. Come on. What do you know? Get down and dirty with it. This is the evolution. This is the growth. This is what a lot of people reincarnated for. And this is as well that many are chosen. I mean, many are called, but few are chosen. Because, yeah, there's a lot of y'all who were called. But who's choosing to keep growing? Who's choosing to get closer? I am. Some of you all are too. And I see. Oh, I see. And the greatest part is about doing this is the ego wants to say, and the ego wants to go, oh, if you're not perfect every fucking day, then you're not doing it right. No. You're putting effort in. It's seen. The soul sees it. The soul's feeling it. If you're putting in effort, you're fine. So you're doing it. But understand that putting in effort requires you to remove yourself. It requires you to stop trying to prove your point. Because another harsh reality, no one gives a fuck. That's a really hard thing to understand. No one gives a fuck. What do you mean? I love this channel. I love you. What do you mean I don't care? You don't. You didn't care until I was here. So you didn't care until something physical appeared to show you. That's the beauty of it. But you cared, of course. Spiritually, you cared. Physically is a different thing. Now, that doesn't mean that you weren't praying for an answer. That doesn't mean of these other things, but you were not taking care of that issue yourself. You had to manifest an external to show you these things. That's still caring. But now someone else has to do your dirty laundry without you knowing. But that's, again, a good thing, because the divine doesn't push anything on someone unless they're ready. That's why you get the call. You pick up the phone. Hello, what's going on? Hey, you're about to do these things. I don't really want to. You can hang up. Okay, that's cool. We talk to them. They don't want to do it. That's their free will. We respect that. Don't go fuck up. Like, if you can say no to the divine missions, you can say no to that stuff. It's free will. The people that say, no, you can't. Yes, you can. You're a slave. You're a light slave. Get out of here. Don't be a light slave. You're not helping anything if you're a light slave. You're hurting if you're a light slave. If you're a light worker or a light slave. We went over this before. Are you doing it because, oh, I feel forced to, because if I don't, God's going to be mad at me, or if I don't do this, my angels are going to beat me up, and if I don't do this, my ancestors are just going to leave me. Light slave. Slave worker. Slave is what you are. I hate to break it to you, but that's the truth. You feel pressured to do something. You're working under them. You work with the divine. You work beside the divine. You work within the divine. You don't work with the divine dragging you, or you don't work with the divine forcing you to do things, because that's not the divine, baby. That's the fucking devil. That's your ego telling you, if you don't do this, you're going to get in trouble. Who said you're going to get in trouble? Did God say, if you don't do this, I'm blowing up your house tonight? No. Baby, hell no. What the fuck's wrong with you? Ain't no one's... Listen... And God ain't saying that shit. That's a funny ass example, but you know what I mean. So why are you scared to decline? Why are you scared to put yourself first? Because you forgot that you're a God. Because you forgot how to love yourself. Because you forgot that you exist. You forgot who you were. You become a puppet. A puppet of what? Not the divine. Because the divine doesn't force something on you. The greatest trick in the book is the devil. How else would you convince people to praise you? Hands up. Hands up. You know? That's all I'm saying. I'm just here to plant seeds. That's why I love what I do. Because listen. Because people don't like doing this work, dude. Why do you think I'm here? Why do you think there's not many other people thinking like me? Why do you think the ones that do think like me are old? Why do you think they're like older than me by years? Like, I'm talking like 50, 60, 70 years old talking this shit. And here I am talking it. And then you have the youth behind me talking about this stuff too? Are you awake yet? No, you are awake, because awake is not wake. Anything in the English alphabet with A in it is not. So awake is not awake, not woke, not wake, not the waking hours. You're still asleep. Understand this stuff. I talk about it all the time. That's mysticism, but that's also just the spell that this world's run under. I understand these things. I understand this shit, baby. I live this stuff. All right? Because I want the world to change. I'm here to save the world. People laugh when I say that. But you know what the world is? You. And if you create these words and you create these systems of how to use words and these symbols of how to use these symbols and how these symbols represent letters and numbers and those things all go together, then you should understand that everything's a compound. And what do you do to the compounds? You add them together. It's addition. We are in an additive world, not a subtractive, not a multiplicative, well, we're heading towards a divisive world. We're heading very towards like division because we already divided. We're in an additive world. All we can do now is add. You know? That's all we can do is add. That's the only thing that's going is adding. Anytime we remove something, something new gets added to it. So we need to add so that we can remove. That's what's going on. That was the whole baby boomer thing. Oh, we need more babies so that we can do more things and raise more prices and then lower the income. I mean, lower the money standard so that people would fucking make inflation go all over the place. We needed those things. We needed these distractions throughout time to make these things, to rule us in this way, to get us so focused on the physical that we don't even realize what's going on in the spiritual. Forgetting all the truths, not even realizing, and then having people grow up with parents who don't even know how to do things. Like I was in that growth period when my mom and dad didn't know how to do much and they were disabled. Like I had to teach myself everything. Anything that I learned was from either school, which I mainly forgot almost all of it except for biology, because everything's in biology. Like, just look at the stuff, baby. It's all right there, right? But I observe. I had to learn. And how did I think to learn? By observing. Because you don't learn unless you see it. Why do you think people ask you, how did you know how to do these things if no one taught you? Because you watched them. Oh, I seen it on TV. Oh, I read it in a book. Because you seen it. You observe to absorb. Get it? Wordplay. It's funny, isn't it? It's there. It's real. I'm just here to point it out because it's there. And not many people pay attention to it, which is the issue. Which is why you feel lost, because things are trying to show themselves to you to allow you to see that there's something bigger going on. Something bigger than the flesh. Something bigger than your spirit, because it is the collective spirit. There's something bigger going on in the galactics, because why else are there people who are being born now? Souls that are being deposited into vessels and birthed, B-E-R-T-H, ships. We're bodies of water, the water sac that we're born in. We're birthed. We are not born, we're birthed. And then we are delivered from a doctor. We are took to the dock. And the rope is cut so that we can sail. Ta-da, cool, right? Funny. That's why where citizenships exist and why they're called banks and why it's a currency. I love wordplay. You see what they do? You see, like, listen. When I tell you I'm aware, like, I don't have to prove this stuff. I don't want to have to talk about this stuff. I don't really have to, because it's one of those things that it's because it's a misunderstanding on my behalf on why. Because at first I believed that, oh, I know these things, so I should be attracting people who know these things. I'm attracting people that don't know these things. So that's something I have to be more accountable for as myself, because as being a young, in this form in life, young teacher that knows much, that is excelled in many things, Jesus Christ with spirit, it is important for me to keep check, which is why I do it so much. That's why even on like live streams, I love it. I get excited when someone has a question, because it's like, it's a perfect fucking time for me to test myself, to see if I can do something, and to test someone else. Not that I want to test anyone, but the divine's giving me an opportunity to be like, yeah, let's fucking see what's going on here. Let's communicate, let's collaborate, let's mesh our energies together and see what goes on. That's what I do. I'm excited for life. I'm ecstatic. I might not show it because I got restless bitch face, but I love it. It's what I do. I love this stuff. It comes from the soul. That's why I do it. That's why I don't yell. I'm not cussing anymore. Well, I don't listen, I still cuss, but it's not like crazy. Because you knew who I used to be, y'all. Some of y'all know who I used to be. Let's cut that let's not remove that image, but like, You know what I mean? It's a phase for sure. But I'm more of who I am. Understand. Understand that you must be healed before you do certain things. That's why I step back from tarot. And it's not that, because even now I can do tarot readings, I'll be fine. But it's the energy of knowing that a tarot reading is not going to guide me to what I need to talk about with my soul. The tarot reading is only going to allow me to pick up what the energy is, what the current is, what I can see from there. And as you all know, I'm very able to do that shit. But it's better to speak from the soul and be authentic. Because again, you shouldn't need anything on the physical to prove who you are in the spiritual. Because life is spiritual. So why do I need something physical to do so? The only thing that I require is my voice. Because my voice has more power than anything. So does yours. Every voice has more power than anything. The hands, the entire body has more power than anything on the physical. And I'm talking about like the internals, being able to, having your eyes on the palms. You got your eyes here, your eye here, your eyes here, your eyes on your kneecaps, the eyes on your bottoms of your feet. You know what I mean? Like understanding that you are literally, it's just so, I can't go too, I don't want to talk too much about it because it's something that an individual needs to discover on their own. Well, at least I feel like they should. I mean, unless you really want to know, you can fucking talk to me about it because I love talking about this shit anyway. It's all I talk about. Literally. I cannot talk about anything mundane. I can't. I can only talk about things like this because it's my passion. It's my love. It's my life. I'm not separate from the spirit. And I want people to get to this point. I'm sorry, I'm like miss with the cord. Y'all know how I am. But because I see the camera moving up and down. I'm so ADHD. I fucking love it. But I'm so close with the divine. I'm so close with myself, with my true self, with my child, with who I am. And I'm in that energy as a child. Even growing up, I always just wanted people to see what I see. And I can't force you to see what I see. But I can paint a damn good picture around you of what I see. I can give you some really deep insights of what I see. And that's all I want to do. I'm an artist. We're all artists. We all create art. And we'll get into that deeper thing later. But understand that your ego will do everything in its path to stop you until you give it full permission to release. Because you've made it based off your guidelines. At first, the ego is made off the guidelines of survival, which is fine. That's okay. Because you need that ego to backbone you, to protect you, to say, no, fuck off, go away, and do those things. But you also need to let the ego know you are no longer in those situations. The ego does not see anything. The only thing that sees is the soul. I'm telling you, you're right. Your eyes don't see anything. Your eyes see what your brain is telling you. Your soul is the thing that sees. When you close your eyes and you tap into your heart space and you feel how that is and you feel that heartbeat, that's you. That heart beats you. That's you. That's you. That's how you know you're alive. Well, that's how you know you're living, excuse me. That's how you know that you're living. That you are a being, a creation of life right now. And because we do not take time to pay attention to that heartbeat, unless we are in stressful and or dire situations, we never feel like we're living. and we feel alive or non-living. Genuinely, take time to just focus on your heart. And you can't do it when you talk. You can't do it when you're doing certain things. You know what I mean? That's why they say sit and be still and know I am God. Feel God. It's inside you. Always has been since day one. You wouldn't be here without a piece of God. People misunderstand this. This is why I have so many things I want to say, but I don't have, I mean, I do, but listen. I would be making like 7-hour-long videos. I don't know who the fuck would be watching those documentaries, but listen, child, maybe one day, let me tell you, because the experiences that I've had, the life that I have lived has taught me so much. And we'll talk about it a little bit. I think I can. I hope my phone won't like explode and hate me. But I keep bringing it up a lot, especially because my birthday's coming up, and for some reason I'm gonna turn 25 this year. And I'm gonna start crying a little bit too, so don't worry about that. It's just gonna happen. I'm just gonna let it flow out, so don't worry about me. I'm fine, just detoxing, you know what I mean? But the number 25 has been popping up a lot for me. And funnily enough, the day that I was locked in the basement was the 25th. So the divine has really been in touch with me, showing me how much I've survived and showing me how protected I am. And 25 breaks down to 7, and 7, as we know, is the Sabbath. It's to wait. And there has been this extremely blessed pause over my life because I've been holding back the fact that I was traumatized, that I've almost been killed 3 times, especially by family and friends. So that was something I had to work through. And I've been resting and realizing these things. And I've really come to the conclusion that I do not hold any hate at all for these people. And that was something that I was afraid to do at one point because I felt like I had to defend myself or to like scream to the top of the world, fuck these people, or to stand on their necks. But that's not at all what I want to do. That's my ego. And it took me fighting myself to see that I was fighting the devil inside of me, the dragon inside of me that wanted its revenge. It wanted these people to pay. I was like, I can't, I know. They suffer enough. They have to live with the fact that they almost killed me. I think that's enough punishment. I really do. I wouldn't be able to survive with it. And I know that they wouldn't be able to either. Because they're not that type of people. I know who they are on a soul level. And you can tune it out and you can run with your ego and make excuses all you want, but your soul will never lie to you. You can put on as many masks as you want, but your soul will never lie. But I healed fully from that. And it's just been such on my mind because first of all, I didn't even know I was gonna make 25. I'm one of those people that didn't plan out their life, of course. I've just really let the divine just do whatever. I don't have a plan because it's not that well, part of it is because I don't want to fail. And we had to be completely honest. And I love being transparent with you all. Part of it, the plan, not having a plan, is I don't want it to fail. But the other half of the plan is because I know that whatever I do is going to be fine. It's no longer a belief. It's no longer having faith. I just know I'm going to be fine. Because I know who I am. And I know what I show people. And people can think whatever they want, but it will never stop me from being me. And that's the soul and the ego. The ego will really make you feel like something needs to happen externally for something to be fixed internally. And that, oh my god, I'm sorry for the waterworks, y'all. I got the nose working now. Jesus Christ. No, but it's a detox for sure. Let me thank you all for bearing with it. But genuinely, the ego wants something external. It wants to be proven. It wants some sort of gratification. So don't allow that dragon to attack any flesh or any spirit for that matter. It is not about being the bigger person, but that is what the ego will latch on to. And truthfully and honestly, it's not a bad thing to be like, I'm just going to be the bigger person here. That does come from ego, but that's not a bad thing. If you know that you can be a brighter, bigger person, however you want to frame it, than you are in a situation, please do. Do not let the ego win. The ego is sly. The ego will make you reply in passive aggressive ways. Check yourself always. These are things that are so important. When I tell you I have no malice or harm or anger or hate for anyone in my heart, I really don't. It is something that it doesn't exist. Hate just doesn't really exist. Discomfort, of course. I just don't hate things anymore. I can't hate, you know? It's hard to hate whenever the blessing of life has not just been granted once, but 3 other times after being granted once. And of course it was all written out. But at the same time, before that, I didn't even know. It was less of God saving me and more of God showing me who I am. Because you save yourself. God can only save you if you are moving forward with what you're doing. God can only save you if you allow him into your vessel, to accept it fully and to see it as what it is, as pure love, as nothing but love. And I'll use it as an example. The ones, because it's the biggest one. It's the last one I had to heal from, you know? So it's one that has been so integral on my healing journey. I go back to it so much, and when I think back to it, I don't even think like angry memories. I really think back to happy memories. We used to play games all the time, you know. I used to, I smoked a lot back then, so we'd pass the bong around and fucking chill out. Like, it was a really fun, good environment. But it just turned sour. And it turned sour because of me. It turned sour because of them. We both reacted in a sour way, you know? It's okay. There wasn't any violence. It was just a disagreement in words. And it's okay. But with that situation, it taught me so much about accountability, about forgiving someone else, about love. Because you can even say that the friend loved the other friend more than they loved me as they sided with them. And that's, that's a valid point and a valid look at it, because that's how I looked at it for a while to even heal from it, because it's different types of love. And though love is unconditional, it all boils down to, was that love a self-love, or was that love an external love? And that's not for me to judge. What I did as this act of self-love was remain non-confrontational. They said I had X amount of time to leave. So I said, okay, cool. I got you. Just give me that time. I won't disturb you all. I'll be down here doing my thing. It's whatever. But the ego needed that reaction. The soul felt weird. And I know this for a fact because they came down and talked to me multiple times on multiple occasions to, I guess, interrogate or to see how I was doing or whatever. I don't really care. But every time they came down, I greeted them with a smile. I didn't, I even looking back, I even remember, like, I had a moment where I cried talking to them, trying to explain to them, like, not even defending myself, but saying I just seen things that I can't explain, and I felt love that I haven't been able to feel before, and it's okay. Like, I'm not. I verbatim said, I don't want you using me crying. I don't want you taking me crying as an excuse for me to stay here. I'm going to leave. Don't worry about that. I'm crying because I love you and I care. And I'd rather just let love end this relationship rather than anger. I offered them a hug. They said no. One thing about me, and I'll tell you this right now, if you ever see me in person, if you ever have any falling out with me, be careful if I fucking hug you. That ain't no threat. But when my sisters came to me and after my dad died, and they came to me and talked, I hugged my sister and she almost blacked out. Because I will zap those motherfucking entities off your ass. Because I am light. I know who I am. I operate off of love. And when I say I hold no malice or hate towards anyone, I fucking mean it. From the bottom of my soul to the very top of it. From the top of my head below to the highest of the high version of myself to the lowest of the low. I mean it. I hold no malice. And I will zap those motherfucking entities off of you. Because my love will prove to you, the warmth of my love will prove to anyone that dare come towards me with that anger on the physical, I'm talking. It will show them how incorrect they are. And it wipes them. I witnessed it happen. I tried offering the friend a hug. They almost did. They said no. I'm glad they did because they probably would have passed out too. Confirmation. That's a fucking... Is that an ambulance when I said that too? Hold on, y'all know how it is when I'm talking and they shit flying. Y'all know how it is. Y'all remember. Oh, that's a fire truck, baby. I'm telling you. Yeah, spirits would go on, baby. But I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling you, man. I'll zap those energies off you. Why do you think I picked up exorcisms and shit? Why do you think I do that stuff? It's not because oh, I can do it. No, it's because it's genuinely something I do. I have so much of my own potential that I still discover every day because I'm in tap with who I am. I understand I can do anything, not everything. But there are certain sets and tools and skills that I've learned and developed over the years that show me the path that I'm supposed to be on, that prove to me who I am. And I live this experience and I live this life and I do my best to show you and I do my best to stay transparent. So yes, I have those old videos of me yelling and cussing and damning people and all sorts of shit up. And of course I have these newer videos, this fresher perspective, this lighter energy, of course, because I am an example and I will be used by the divine. And I am not embarrassed by my past self. I am in fact empowered by it. Because if I can go from that to this, fucking you can too. And I'm cussing because I'm passionate right now, because y'all know. But genuinely, allow me, and I say it all the time because I mean it, like, use me as an example. I don't care if the example is to boost your ego. I don't care if this is an example to, like, enlighten your soul. More sirens. I don't know if you can hear them. Just more sirens. I don't know if you can hear them. I'm telling you. Look at that. 1, 2... That's three emergency vehicles that just want to fly by. I'm telling you. Use me as an example. I'm doing what the divine's telling me to do. And I'm one of the few that are doing it pure out of soul. And when I say that, I do not want you to compare to anyone. I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I'm not comparing myself to much. I don't watch other people. I say I'm one of the few because I know that few are chosen. I don't mean that so you look at your other people and compare them. I never want you to do that. Don't change who you are because I say something. Listen, I just give advice. I just plant seeds. I just want to help. I'm not here to dictate your life or anything. That's the thing I love about myself, is that I've helped my ego out so much with being able to defend itself without needing to do anything externally. If I get mad at someone, I bark at myself. You know what I mean? If I look at something, I go, ooh, that's weird. Even like a huge example, there's a lot of people in this area that dabble in the dark arts, and I pick up on it, and I think it's cool as fuck. I really do. But instead of my ego going, ew, and judging them, I don't. My ego goes, why the fuck you judging them? And shit, you right. Why am I judging them? They're not hurting me. I'm not hurting them. And that love does wonders. That love, they pick up on it. It's like, oh shit, they're not judging me, so I don't have to be on edge with them. I can just be open. They don't care if I say these things because they're not going to judge me. They're not going to condemn me. I don't give a fuck if you got a voodoo doll of your next door neighbor Samantha, dude. I really don't. Just don't do it to me, and chill down. Like, at least let me just talk to you and chill out. You know what I mean? I don't care about that stuff. And that's not to say I don't care about poor Samantha who got the voodoo doll. Bitch, I'll be doing praise for her and the one who got the voodoo doll, bitch. Behind closed doors, trust me. The fact is, I don't judge because it's not my life to control. It's these things, you really have to get to it. It's this enlightenment. It's these boundaries where you feel like you have to control someone because, oh, that's wrong, and if that exists, then everything, man. No. It exists because God allowed it to. Because God loves that person so much to allow them to do that. Because they chose with their free will to do so. Thank you. I don't know who that was. Someone just said, I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know who, I'm not. That's like the one time, that's like the worst thing that I could have picked. Not the, yo, you got me fucked up. No, but really, like, just, do you see that? Like, listen, it's beautiful. Anyway, just use me as an example always. Truly and wholly. And never doubt yourself. When you're talking with spirits, let them do what they gotta do. If the spirit has to agree with you, it's okay. But listen, there's nothing wrong with anyone or anything. That's your ego. Your soul understands this because your soul knows that there's free will. And if you're going to damn and condemn someone for the acts that they do, you better start doing that shit to your fucking self. Because you're ignoring the bigger picture. I'm going to hold you accountable to it. Because I hold myself accountable. And I'm not holding you accountable because I hold myself accountable. I'm holding you accountable because I know that you want to be held accountable. Because with accountability comes that power that you crave, that you want. And you see what happens to people that can't take accountability. Well, that can't take it. Well, they're doing dark magic and they're... Baby, that's still accountability. You're not taking accountability for yourself, that you're hyper fixated on their actions and not how you feel regardless of them. It's really that simple, but it's also that hard. Because again, accountability feels rough. Because accountability holds you to the truth. And Lady Justice's sword is sharp as fuck. My aught will weigh your heart, and it will be weighed exactly how it will be, Dan. That's why I always talk about it, the weighing of the heart. It's like the channeled message I had earlier said. The weighing of the heart happens every day. A lot. Multiple times a day. When you come to a conclusion that, oh, I did kind of fuck up, you weighed your heart. Your soul said, I need you to check this. It's there. It happens. That guilt, that shame, that, oh, I shouldn't have done this, that, oh, I'm going to go back and delete this, or, oh, I'm going to go defend myself, is a weighing of the heart. It's you trying to lighten the load, but you can't really lighten the load because it's already there. All you can do is take it. Take the heart back. Be like, you know what? Let me work on this. I broke some of the laws in my heart. I broke one of the 42 or a few of the 42. Let me take my heart back. Let me fix this shit. You come from the spiritual back into the physical. You don't have to leave this vessel to go into the spiritual. We'll talk about all this stuff a lot more in depth at some point. But you all know how it's going to be. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm not, I'm just here. I'm one of the different ones. I'm one of the ones that wants you to understand these deepers. And it's, again, the greatest part about this is even if you don't care about this stuff, that doesn't mean your life's going to go to hell. Doesn't mean your house is going to explode or something. It just means you won't understand how to release these boundaries. You won't understand how to live a life with less aggravation. Because stress is the biggest killer, and anger is poison. Anger will kill you quicker than alcohol and smoking and all that shit. So I'm just trying to keep you aware, keep you healthy. Because there's a lot of health, and spiritual health covers a lot more than how you are connected with your divine counterparts. It's definitely about your mental, your physical, your emotional health, because all those come from a spirit. So you got to make sure your spirit's healthy, make sure your heart is good. The container that holds the spirit needs to be pure, or at least clean, so it can pervade and give the correct message that it needs to. That's why you can't think straight when you're stressed, because it's not a pure place. It's been convoluted. But regardless, this is the message that I wanted to give out. Between the soul and the ego, very interesting, very fun. We'll talk. I just love talking more of like this shit, bro, because I need more of it in my life, and I gotta be the one to supply this shit, because it's popping up. I'm seeing it, like I see it pop up on my homepage all the time. I see stuff, randomly pop up here and there about this higher new talking, and it's nice to see, but I want it to grow. And it's like, it's funny because yes, the I is partial ego, but my soul, like, I start shaking, I'm shaking a little bit. Like, I get this adrenaline rush where I'm just like, fuck, I want more healing. You know what I mean? Because it's good. Because it's beautiful. Healing is such a beautiful thing. It allows you to express more joy. It brings you so close to your inner child that, like, it's like, fuck. Like, how much more of my inner child can I release? How much more fun can this get? How you know what I mean? It's so beautiful. But this is the message I got for y'all. I love you all so much. To the moon and back, tenfold forever though. If you need any readings, any bracelets from Spirit Otter, that stuff's in the description. You can use the email or the order form. It doesn't matter. I'll hit you up. I'll get you I'll get you situated either way. Thank you all so much for all the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes, and donations, whether they are energetic or financial. I appreciate them all in full. But I love you all so much. I will see you later. Please take care, and I really hope that this allows you to learn, heal, and just whatever, because you're doing so good. And just allow yourself to know that you are always doing your best. Unless you know that you're not, then you're not. But you're always doing your best. I will see you later.